I'm 22. Just
Oh yeah,
Oh my
see,
God, you're so
that's what
young.
I thought when I met you. I'm like, what is he talking about? You should have done this a long time ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
this is. You should have been on this years ago when you were 5,
Still do.
Alex.
I'm still a little baby. A little baby. Still got a lot to. Still got a lot of fucking stuff for. A lot of discovering. I'm very scared, but hey.
Hey, what sign are you? I'm curious.
What was that?
What sign are you? I'm curious.
Sign?
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Oh,
Ooh, there we go. Me too.
I'm kidding. I'm a fucking Pisces.
Oh, you fucker. I'm a Scorpio. What's wrong with being Scorpio, bitch?
Oh, nothing. It's not being a Scorpio. No, I love y'all. Y'all are our best friends.
Right?
Because,
yeah, right?
well,
Until you cross me.
yeah, right. Hey.
Okay, I totally lost control of the show now. God
Are
damn.
we even recording yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies, welcome to the Bump in the Night podcast. I am your host, Johnny Zuko, along with my co-host.
Ginger Snap.
And if you happen to hear a voice in the background, that is the one and only Ms. Moist.
The Scorpio.
Yeah. Today we have a special guest, Alexander. I'm gonna butcher your last name, Bojorge.
I'm used to it since graduation. It's like Jorge. Think of it as Jorge.
Jorge?
Bojorge.
Bojorge.
Yes.
Bojorge.
Oh, very good.
Okay,
Bojorge.
Alexander Bojorge, and he is a graphic designer, freelance artist, and you can find him on Instagram at Autkast Designs. That is Autkast Designs. I'm not going to spell designs because I always mix up the G and the S, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, we brought him on, and we're going to talk about his artwork and how the horror genre influenced, or if any, has any influence on his artwork. But I want to go back to the beginning, Alex. What made you want to be an artist?
Oh man, I was never good at anything. From when I remembered as a kid during elementary, I was always the one that stood out for being, one of the best artists in class. But I just did I just did the simplest shit. I added some pretty colors and took more of my time on it. But I went from doing portraits, landscape, all this innocent shit that my mom loves to see, or any mom would love to see. From there, I picked up doing a lot of street art and graffiti. I wasn't like an active writer like some people out there, but I was heavily influenced by by that subculture. So I focused a lot during the time of shapes, the constructions of the letters and whatnot, and I met the most greatest inspirations out there. For example, Mario Kyoto, one of Oakland's really well-known local artists. I don't know if you guys know him by any chance, but this guy is the founder of Remember Them Project. Have you guys ever in downtown Oakland and seen these big-ass sculptures of the humanitarians, such as Malcolm X, for example, and Mother Teresa, all those great people. I met the guy.
Cool.
And let me tell you, well, it all started just from middle school, and I was lucky I got to know him during that time because it's like that's during middle school. So when everything just comes to you, and you just start realizing where you're meant to be and whatnot. So my teacher just brought me to a tour around his studio, and it's been a great fucking experience. I mean, this guy, he invited me to be his intern during summer. Fucking forgot, but I was the youngest intern out of 4 more interns who were in high school, and I was just going into high school, but he just produces great stuff. I'm telling you, like great sketches of works, just the human anatomy and all that. But if you guys have not seen his work of like horror masks, because he loves doing horror masks, like so many of them, I don't even know where to start. I could, it's all blurred, but online it's like where you can see just his fucking amazing work of horror figures. Some from what I remember, it's like a little bit from Star Wars, which I know it's not horror, but like just the aliens and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but some shit it's like something I've never seen before. And so from there on, I got that everything around me was just being fucking thrown at me really hard and in a good way. I was just like, all right, damn, I'm just picking up all this shit, and I'm being really, it's just I've never been inspired as much as that during that time, and it's to the point where it's like I'm getting so fucking inspired and motivating that it started becoming kind of a scary thing. It's like this is like this is the high hopes and the thoughts. It's just like, man, if it all comes down to fucking nothing, then well, shit.
At least you try.
But yeah, I mean,
It's very introspective.
Sorry for venting out. Just a hangover kicking in, but hey, should have been kicking in a long time ago already.
So as of right now, are you mostly doing drawings, or do you still do graffiti, or what's your main thing right now that you do?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, I used to. Now it's like I'm starting to do a lot more like horror images. Images that people would usually see, but usually don't want to see. Does it make sense? So a lot of has to do with gore, symbolics of just the dark, the dark force. Black and white, anything that's just based on sex, monsters, nuns, kids, animals.
What a list!
Wow, that's pretty diverse.
I just spent quite some time doing my research, seeing what is the shit that people don't want to see. What is the shit that
taboo?
Would disgust people, but at the same time be like, damn, but this guy's fucking great. Like this, great guy, but fucked up head.
You sure you're not a Scorpio?
Hey, I have my fair share with Scorpios, maybe that's what it is.
So you like to show things that scare people and make them. There's like a word for that, like the not the voyeur, but like people that don't want to look at it but look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it a voyeur?
That's a voyeur.
Sort of push the envelope, kind of challenge people's perception of things.
I kind of want to ask too. So being an artist, do you feel like being controversial and trying to push the envelope is something that an artist needs to improve their work, or do you feel like people are just using that angle just for shock value?
Yeah, it could be both. It could be both. I have no really explanation for that, honestly. It's like people do. It's like I don't know. That's a really good question, but for me, it's just like just draw. Just produce shit that gets the attention. It's like it is a freedom. It's a way to express yourself. Same for dancing. Singing, making music out of it. It's no difference. It's no difference. For as an artist who draws. But yeah, it's to me, it's like find a trend.
Yeah.
This is what find a trend that people are into nowadays. Make something out of it. It will fucking sell.
Yeah.
It will sell as long as it's something people are into nowadays. Or for example, horror, a little bit, new horror movies coming up.
Yeah.
There's like do a design for it. For prints, shirts, whatnot. Sneakers. A lot of people love shoes. People love customized shoes. So yeah, it's always about just staying part of the trend. You know, it's like even if you don't like the trend itself, just stay part of it. You know, and it'll sell. You know, you'll do good.
What
I don't know if it answers your question, but
no.
No, I mean it kind of does. It's like more like, but it's like more toward cater to you though. Do you feel like do you do it because you're trying to push the envelope and improve the work, or are you just using it as a shock value? I think that was kind of the question I was trying to get at.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, thank you for.
Sorry, I should clarify.
Yeah, it's a shock value. Yeah, I'll say that. Like I said, you know, just I want to be known for being that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
That guy. You know? You know, that guy, but something's fucking wrong with him.
And what are the kind of materials that you use to draw? I noticed that I've been following your Instagram, and I noticed that you tend to use Sharpie and pens a lot.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, thank you for paying close attention to my work. Yes, a lot of inking. I'm just barely getting caught with, or at least I'm barely just getting into doing using digital for my work. So Photoshop, Illustrator, all that. I was never a fan of it, but now it's just it's such a big thing.
Did you kind of see it as cheating? Is that why you weren't a fan of it?
A little bit of that. I'm that guy that just likes to get their hands messy. You know.
Yeah.
You know, your old traditional basic artist. If you notice, some of my work consists with lots of techniques and different styles, from watercoloring to stencils, spray paints, pencils.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, as a kid, I was just, I set a goal. It's like to be not the best of every material medium out there, but get somewhat of an experience from it. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, anyone can ask me to do a commission for them, and it could be watercoloring based or pencil based. It could be anything. If I know how to do it, that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like having varieties of styles and techniques. It's seriously it's what makes you not the best artist in the world, but and what makes you a good artist.
Yeah, it makes you unique.
It makes you accessible too.
Oh yeah.
Did you study? Did you go to university and study, or this was just basically self-taught?
Yeah, so self-taught. Schools, education. It's I never wanted to admit having an art degree is useless, but it really is. I mean, you have YouTube, you have the libraries, you have literally fucking you have everything, free sources of learning how to do art.
Yeah.
You don't need any of that. I mean, yeah, if you have the opportunity to take a free class on how to do fucking art, take it. But just
Yeah.
For the most part, just it's very cliche for me for any artist to say, but just practice. That's just it. Just practice every day. My motto is just that it doesn't matter how long you've been drawing and how good you are, how bad you are. You just gotta be fucking creative, because anyone can draw. If my retarded ass can draw, anyone can fucking draw. Like anyone can draw, but being creative is literally, oh man, I don't know how to I want to tell you, but that's. I'm not as creative. I may have produced work that it's unique as somewhat for its way, but some of you, no one knows that it takes me forever to think about something good to make. Something new and unique. Someone could set me up a commission, and I'll just sit there for hours, like wow, wow. It's I don't know what's the first move.
What helps?
Well, hold on. Well, I wanted to go back to the Photoshop because Miss Moise had a question, and I was kind of curious too. So when you didn't want to expand into Photoshop and Illustrator, did it feel like cheating in a way for you to use it to go digital, or is it just something that just doesn't appeal to you in general?
No, it was just more. I mean, if you guys ever used Photoshop, it's complicated. They even have classes out there, and online courses how to use Photoshop. I'm more of a simple guy. Like I like things to be simple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, any like negative thoughts about Photoshop. Is just really hard to use.
Yeah.
That's just me though. Some people.
It took me. I'm self-taught in Photoshop, and it took me a while, like a really long time. I had to do a lot of projects.
Yeah, but it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it if you really want to invest. Like I said, this is a real. This made me realize, like, if I wanted to be good at every single medium out there, then Photoshop has to be one of those guys too. So, I caught myself at the moment right there.
Yeah.
What was your question? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just wondering, like, every artist is different. They all have a different creative, process. What inspires you? What gets your creative process going?
People.
People.
Just people in general. I mean, they tell me, just do art because if you want to do it. Yeah, true.
Mm.
But then it's like I don't want to just be, and this is what I've been doing for years. This is why now I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm just taking it seriously. Doing what I do. You gotta get people involved with it. You gotta put it out there.
Yeah.
And so it's just do it for the audience, but also most importantly, do it for yourself. Mm-hmm. When you know you need a break from social media and posting, just on social media, just at the end of the day, basically, you do it because of you. But for the most part, I do it because I like to disrupt the audience because I am fed on by anger, hatred, and greed by people out there who don't who probably just don't like my work, but hey, that keeps me rolling. So, and I always get that percentage where they love my work, and they're like, oh well, I have people come up to me, they love the way I think, and that just fucking sparks me up, makes me want to produce a lot more shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mixed feeling about it, honestly.
So can people find you out in Oakland, like selling your paintings, like down on like as a street artist or anything like that, like on the sidewalk?
Not really.
You don't go out to like the first Fridays or like the flea markets or nothing like that.
No, dude. Like like I said, I think when I first met Miss Moist, that's when that was like my first show, the first
okay.
convention I ever been to. So and I could now, but most important, my mission now is just produce as much as I can, and then go out. Because I just don't want to go out on conventions and have the same shit I've had for the past conventions. I want to keep. I want to make sure I have like a whole stack of new shit. For people to see, because then it's just the same old. I just won't feel good.
Well, it's also that too, but it also shows that you're evolving your artwork as well.
Oh yeah. No, that's very true.
And I feel as evolving as an artist is very important because it also helps growth in the artist as well.
Yeah. Hey, I like that. The way you put it out there.
For those who don't know, what show was that? Was that a toy fair, or what was the fair?
Yeah, it was in San Jose, the toy show. I forgot exactly what's called, but the first show I've ever had. My buddy Will from Toy Slayer, he's been doing these shows for years now. Invited me to do my first little gig. Mm-hmm. Set up my table, very small. Had a couple prints out. It was slow at first, and then it started picking up. A lot of people started coming in.
That's what I was going to say. It seemed like you got a pretty good response.
Yeah. What I did was just really...
You got our attention.
I just went up to people.
Yeah.
As like a sales fucking person, I just went up to people. I saw what they were wearing, maybe something they were carrying that they bought from another booth. Came up to them, be like, hey, I see the shit that you have, you know. I notice you like, what is that, anime? I have something you might like.
Yeah.
You know, show them a print of like a hentai fucking drawing or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's the way to do it.
Like I said, something that you wouldn't see often, and bam, you know, make a sell like that.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, though. You know, self-promotion.
Yeah.
Are you going to be out there in June again?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just making more drawings, doing commissions. You know, I'm always striving for opportunities out there.
Yeah. When I met you, you had done well. It was a logo for a band.
Yeah. It's like a black and white logo, right?
Have you done other logos?
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I'm currently actually, you know, Alyssa, I think it was you who wanted me to make a logo for you guys.
Yeah, so he's gonna be creating some new logos for our Bump in the Night logo, I should say. Yeah, we're excited to see that.
Hey, oh yeah.
And thank you.
Like I said, any opportunity I'm given, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Most often I wouldn't do it. You know, I'll do it for free because that's one of the things I've gotten from some artists. You know, it's like everyone's different. You know, you get artists who are telling me don't do anything for free. You know, and then there's some out there. It's like, hey, you know, you gotta do it for free. It all depends on who I am as a person, you know, and as an artist. So you coming up to me and asking me to do something for you guys. Well, you know, it's like, hey, you guys are here
Mm-hmm.
and I'm here, you know, and it's an honor being with you guys. So I'll just, you know, this is my way to pay back.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know.
Well, and also if someone comments about a logo that you've done, even if you did it for free, you're still getting payment by them promoting you by saying, oh, well, this is the person that did it, and you know, it's like a mutual mutual promotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys know what you're talking about, you know, and it's also what's really important is the network and the connections I make.
Yeah.
With I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Will, my buddy, and you know, because of, you know, and ever since just being with him, working with him, doing pen designs, you know, for him,
mm-hmm.
prints them out, we sell them. You know, he just gets me to know a lot more artists and creators out there. Just you know, just the my network is just expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Every minute. So you
that's
know,
good.
like I said, that's network. It's really what helps me. It helps anyone be successful.
Absolutely.
You know? Being recognized.
So are you and Will gonna be doing any more like prints, like shirts?
Oh, for shirts, shoes, pins, anything.
Because you recently printed up a Toy Slayer, and it's basically a picture of Jason squishing the head of Chucky till he explodes. And you were selling the T-shirt for this. I was wondering if you had any more like designs locked in for the T-shirts that we haven't seen, or that was just a trial run to see how the shirt will sell.
It was just a trial run. You know, I love horror movies, you know, and horror characters, you know, famous monsters. I just never, you know, I never, you know, I had like an interest of making something with horror characters, and that was just a test, you know. It was a home run, really, sort of shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I made this design for my buddy.
Did he tell you what he wanted?
He loved it. Huh?
Did he tell you what he wanted, or did you just say?
No, that's the crazy thing, and you know, he just straight up said he fucking loved it. You know, that's where I pick up again. You gotta know your audience,
mm-hmm.
Your client, in order to execute a project accurately, but not perfect, because you're gonna get do commissions. It's a long fucking process, but it picked up. It was a home run, and I was happy about it. I was like, all right, think of two famous characters, mash them up together, see, yeah, that took a while. That project took a while for me to come up with, but I was happy. Very happy about it at the end of the day.
Speaking of horror characters, so what horror movies or horror characters have inspired you for your work?
Oh, man. For my work, good question. Not really. Well, a little bit of The Fly.
Ooh.
The first one. Very first one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. I've been binge watching a lot of horror movies that I saw as a kid, and what inspired me about these movies is that some of it, back in the day, obviously, CGI wasn't at its best, but most of it has to do with the actual art, actual, plays and actual, just real things.
Yeah.
And oh man, the mechanics were just amazing. Five was just one of those movies that traumatized me as a fucking kid. Because it was that good.
Yeah.
It was that good, and it was, it looked real,
It's so gross.
Oh yeah, that was, disgusting. And now it's like, but now, horror movies at this time, it's I don't know if it's me, but it just seems like it's getting more fucking crazier. It's getting more, more graphic. It's always been like this, but the last horror movie, like recent horror movie I've seen was It's, the new one.
The remake?
And yeah, the remake. I liked it. It wasn't, it was good for the most, for some part. I don't know. I mean, the only part that really that opened my eyes, man, was the first scene when Georgie, got his arm bit off. It was way out. I was like, what the fuck?
That was like the best scene.
Crazy.
That was the only good scene in that movie.
And it was pretty creepy too, the way that he just stretched out underneath the sewers, and you just see his hands going across the road, and you see poor Georgie just dragging. Oh my god, that's.
I was like, I don't know. For some viewers, for some people who don't, watch horror movies as often, that was so crazy. That was just fucked up. I loved it.
Especially for a kid.
And that's where I play along. I was like, all right, kids dying.
Let's go.
I'll make it happen. No, but man, it's like so yeah, it's just movies out there, what that has not it's not heavily influenced my work, but the contents, something just disgusting.
Are you like into H.P. Lovecraft or anything like that?
Yeah. Not heavily, but I've seen some of his shit, and it's and some of my work actually, some of it is influenced by it, just because of the symbolics and the message it sends, and
well, because I was also gonna bring it because you did a Cthulhu portrait as well.
Oh yeah.
With like the I think it was the cross and the circle burnt into its head, right?
Yeah. So that design was gonna be for a black metal band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your stuff looks black metal.
Oh yeah.
Very black metal.
Very, very brutal, as they say.
It is
Norwegian death metal.
God, I'm so tired of fucking hearing that ever since that one movie.
Lords of Chaos.
That's why I said it, because that's just like a joke that we always have. Is like, it's not Norwegian death metal. It's not true Norwegian. What was your...
And I've heard the podcast for that movie that you guys did a review for the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's something. I like the movie. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of black metal, but I do get its message across. I do get it, but movie itself was it was good.
What do you listen to?
I'd say it pissed off a lot of hardcore black metalheads.
I did.
Pissed off some, because it's
What music do you listen to?
What was that?
What music do you listen to?
Country. Johnny Cash.
Good answer.
I do. I shit you not.
Johnny Cash.
You have a Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Didn't you have a Johnny Cash on there?
Yeah.
Right?
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as
you had the print at the toy fair.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I saw. I think that's what I saw, right?
It's really good.
Yeah. So, I was growing up listening to a lot more just classic rock music, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The Beatles, of course. Creedence.
CCR, huh?
Yeah, just as a start off. I have a little bit of love for folk as well, folk music.
Mm-hmm.
But I started getting a little bit. I started getting more influenced, with the metal scene when I was brought to my first show, like 3 years ago, for a band named Ghoul. It's like a thrash metal band. Craziest show, craziest fucking show. They would just splatter fake blood, to the audience.
Wow.
Everyone was either drunk or just in the zone, and I'm just there like, damn, crazy. I loved it, fucking loved it. And that's why that is why, and my work has also it's influenced by that as well. Just the metal scene. A little bit of also a little bit of the punk scene, which I'm going through just series of works, series of I went through a series of doing graffiti, street art, now currently the metal scene, punk scene. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say, make the long story short, I'm just going through shit tons of series and finding varieties of styles, or at least. For now, I feel like I'm still looking for a style. You know how some people have like their own style and they stick to it for the longest they can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that personally. I don't know why.
I think that's good.
I can stick with one style, but I just decided not to. I know.
I think it's good to mix it up. If you're people then it gets repetitive and boring if you have the same thing all the time.
I mean, it's also like Well, because I used to do music, and I know like once you find your voice, you stick with it. But just because you find your voice doesn't mean you can't like evolve around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can say a lot more. And I think what it is that I think you're still trying to find your voice, not necessarily your style. I think you're just trying to find what you're trying to say in your art, and then once you nail that down, then the stylization of the art is going to come next.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly, and that's what you and I, artists, just varieties of them. Whether you're a singer, musicianist, we all get it. Mm-hmm. We all get it.
Yeah.
We're all under the same umbrella. So, but yeah, I just go to shows, art shows, metal shows, whatnot. Pick up some inspiration there. Anything happening around me, I just take out my phone and note it down. All right. This guy's fucking puking next to me. See if I can come up with something with that, Just I'm just making stories throughout along the way.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, I diddle to what Johnny said. Like 100%. Just do produces just different things, and eventually you'll find your voice. Because it's like you have artists. The reason why a lot of artists produce the same style over the years, although it gets evolved, over the years as well. It's like as soon as you look at one of their works without knowing who made it, you get you'll start realizing just looking at close details, like, okay, I think I know who made this, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, but yeah, for me, it's like it's more about the content.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the content, the message it sends. That that it just activates the human mind and disrupts the public's spheres.
Mm-hmm.
How is the scene out there? How's the art scene out there? Like, how is it? Is it very supportive out there, or is it just everyone for themselves?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'd say that. Oh man, just the internet. It's cluttered by lots of artists, and that's great. I'm glad. But it's getting really competitive, man. Over the years, super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I used to. Oh man, I actually wanted to be a graphic designer for industries. Believe it or not, company industries. I did a internship for Wells Fargo at least last year, and I was getting myself into the graphic design, tech environments, shit, which I enjoyed it for some parts, but then I realized the more I got into it, the more competitive and harder it got. It's like everyone, and each year, industries, really big companies out there are craving for creative minds.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, so that being creative, it's like seriously a fucking gift.
Yeah.
Or it's a hard skill. So yeah, and companies praise for those guys, praise for the graphic designers that produce just produce designs. So yeah, but I've also had interest of doing architect designing, building, drawing buildings and whatnot. From what I've heard, it's like you can if someone wants to build wants me to draw a building that they want me to sketch out. If I could draw a building, in front of them, in front of their eyes, that's how you sell yourself.
Have you
back to I don't know if that answers your question either, but yeah, it's competitive out there, so everyone's just pretty much up for themselves.
Have you been in Oakland your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'll meet I have some connections of well-known graffiti artists, street artists. Like I said, I'm not out there, but when I recognize an artist and I come up to him and tell him, hey, dude, like nice shit. I'll keep it running. Keep going. Sometimes they question me like, are you a cop? How come I've never seen you before? And that's when I know it's like, oh well, I should kind of back away because I don't want to think like I've seen your work. I just never come up to you because I'm too shy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a shy fuck.
You don't seem like it.
And like street artists too are really just hesitant just by getting compliments because they just paint on the street, and sometimes they feel like, oh man, if someone comes up to them and compliments them, they feel like they're being condescending.
Mm.
Yeah. They have their own world.
Because I know a couple of street artists and they've done a couple of murals and paintings in my hometown, and the thing is that when people go up and they paint them, they kind of like, oh, that's cute, you know what I mean? Like, and they take it the wrong way, It's like, well, I'm trying to like beautify the city and I'm trying to make it look good, but you're standing over here and trying to say, oh, it's cute, but it's like that tone of voice, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you get people like that. I mean, there's no reason for them to get upset. I mean, some of us, at the end of the day, it's like, it's the way you see someone else's work.
Mm-hmm.
I could have the intent, the tendency, or the intention of producing something cute, and yet, you guys could say it's beautiful, or you guys have like different opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but at the end, at the end of the day, it's the beholder, and it's the eye of the beholder, who produced the shit. It's like, you guys don't have to get my work. You guys don't have to understand what it means. As long as I know what it means, and maybe very few will understand what it means. Hey, shit, I'm happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like modern art, I don't know if you guys have seen works where like very large canvases of splatter paintings, where it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
To some of the artists. Yeah. I'm actually sort of a strong believer that people who produce paintings like that, have like their own mind. They have like it's kind of like dancing with paints and brushes and onto a canvas. I've seen some artists produce paintings like that in front of my eyes, and I'm like, oh, now it makes sense when you're actually there, seeing them producing the canvas, making some crazy shit. It makes more sense, But I'm just spitballing. I'm just venting over here.
No, it's interesting.
Like Pollock, that's what Pollock would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like when you're there, you see the movement of the brush.
Yeah, like Pollock. That's what Pollock would do. That artist.
Yeah.
And
but
who are we
to actually kind of get it?
Who are we to say what art is anyway? Just one opinion.
Me, that's who.
I mean, when people think they know exactly how it should be, I mean, it's. Who are we to say?
Did you see the film Velvet Buzzsaw?
That's actually gonna be my next question.
Oh really?
Yeah. Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah, it's like an art horror film. It has Jake Gyllenhaal. It just came out not too long ago on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Velvet Buzzsaw. It's all about that, like art snobs and like there's murders and it's like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Nice. This is I just googled it right now and my favorite actor is playing this movie. That's Jake. Okay, Jake. I'm just too busy to watch movies and catch up with TV shows. Everyone's talking about Game of Thrones. I'm just like, I wish I had the time like you guys do sometimes.
Right?
Screw Game of Thrones. Never got into it. Not for me.
I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones either, but
I thought Velvet Buzzsaw kind of sucked.
It did. I didn't like it, but I feel like you should watch it.
We did a review for that, but then it got lost, so we need to do that again.
What do you mean it got lost?
Wait, did it get lost? I'm pretty sure.
I
have to go check now. I don't think I uploaded it.
We don't even know what's going on.
Whoops.
See, there you go. That's how you know that we don't know what we're doing. This is our
5-second review of it, though, right here.
It's garbage.
Are you excited for any new horror films coming out that look interesting, or any horror shows, or any horror art?
Oh yeah. I'm excited for few remakes they're making with horror movies, like the new Child's Play.
Did you see what he looks like? Because they just released the trailer.
No, I actually seen like just a little teaser, like a little bit of his half face. I'm like, wow.
Alex, just stick with that teaser, then go see the movie. Trust me.
Yeah.
You'll thank me later. Because if you watch the trailer, man, it's gonna look.
I have a tendency of having high hopes for everything, so I don't want to,
I don't know. I am kind of like stoked about it because it is Mark Hamill playing Chucky. So
yeah, exactly.
So you can't go wrong with Mark Hamill. That's Mark fucking Hamill. Come on, that's Luke Skywalker.
Dude,
it's not gonna
right?
be the same.
No, but and this is you speaking of this, I already gave me an idea. It's like, hey,
really?
What if I just drew Chucky fighting with Luke Skywalker?
Oh, that would be awesome.
That's dope.
Hey, I'm always fucking hungry for
You're welcome.
Yeah, you better tag us in that picture you post.
You're welcome for us giving you ideas. I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
What other remakes?
Did you see Pet Sematary?
Yeah, I've seen. I've seen the original movie. But it's a blur. I'm not good with memory. But I know I forgot. The concept was about It was about some kids being
bringing their dead animals back to life.
Yeah. Well, zombified.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes any sense. But
It was alright.
No, like I said, it's just Pet Cemetery. It's lots of remakes.
Yeah.
No, people don't like remakes. Some people don't.
Like my co-host
Like
right
me.
here.
I'm that person.
She heard you say remakes and she shuddered. You
can hear it.
Yeah. She groaned.
I'm the one that's always trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. I think remakes are just a necessary evil. It's just it's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
some old movies
the
suck.
graphics, how much we expand with technology. They wanna, they want people to. They kind of want to remake history.
Yeah.
Like of horror movies, and I think that's I have mixed feelings about it. I like it, but at the same time, what can you do? What can the movie industries do?
They just get more money off of it. That's what they want, is just the money.
I keep telling people, like, if we stop showing up to the theaters, they'll stop making bullshit. Seriously. That's one way to stop getting bullshit made, you know what I mean? Just stop going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have a question about one of your pieces, actually. It's the one you posted recently. It's of a nun's face, and then the butt, and then like the serpent coming out of the butt. Is that right? So what is that?
Coming out of her in general.
Is that your fantasy?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Literally. I just, like I said, I just thought about what if I was someone who's like very offended by anything nowadays? What if I was just someone who, what if I was just, what if I was someone else? Would this be something I wouldn't like to see? Yes. See, if I wasn't caught up.
It seems more like.
If I wasn't who I am.
It seems more like you want to offend the people that won't get how can I offend the people that don't get offended that easy?
They won't get offended, but they're most likely like it.
How can I take this even further?
Like I said, it's like and the reactions I've gotten from it, when I throughout the process was like, damn.
Yeah.
This is wow. No comment. Sometimes I wouldn't get any comments. And I'm like, fuck, This is no. I want to say, me personally, I don't. It's not that I hate, religion or anything that. I'm not trying to. It does seem like it's portraying, a disrespect towards, Catholics, Christians, or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of like the character. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like how Eminem, for example, would when his music he would talk about gays, and he would talk about murdering. I don't know if you guys ever listen to his shit.
Yeah.
It would influence a lot with shit that people would get triggered by.
Oh yeah.
There's this show. So there's this show called Happy, and on the season 2 premiere, there were a bunch of nuns, and they were in a circle, and they were praying, right? They were praying to the Easter Bunny that was draped in leather.
Oh my god.
And when the nuns start to get up and start running, all of a sudden you have like this high tempo pop song playing, but then you realize that they have bomb vests strapped to them, and they have to go through Central Park and look for a detonator, and whoever finds the detonator first is the only one that won't get blown up. So one of them finds the detonator, picks it up in the trash can, and pushes it, and then it blows up every single nun. There's like 10 nuns that blow up.
Wow.
Man!
That is fucking gnarly. So, I mean, people that get upset about your painting obviously have not seen that show. And I don't think what you're doing with that painting is disparaging religion or saying anything bad. I just think that's just you being creative. That's just part of the process, And I think people that read into it, they just have hang-ups on it,
Yeah, it made me laugh. I chuckled when I saw it, and why I was interested, because nuns actually freak me out. I don't know what it is. Like, especially the movie The Nun, like her character, she really, really freaks me out.
Well, it's probably because she went to a Catholic school and got beaten by a ruler by a penguin.
I did go to Catholic school when I was little. I was forced
Called
to go.
it.
I was forced to go.
God, that's kind of.
Yeah, I'm not Catholic anymore.
Okay. Yeah, no, 100% on that, Johnny. But like, you know, just like anything else, you know, well, you know, just for more and more like in the black metal scenes, like it's just the imagery. Mm-hmm. It's the imagery, you know. It's like, you know, I'm not a satanic worshiper or any of that shit, you know. I just, you know,
yeah.
I'm just a kid. Love to draw fucked up
Do you feel like there's a benefit? Do you feel like you kind of are exploring your dark side though, like in a safe way?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I started sort of a drunk session. You know, it's like I get drunk, or at least somewhat buzzed. Start sketching shit. Sort of describing myself, what goes through my head. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. For the most part, I just draw what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. But yet something that, you know, people have never seen. Yeah. For 100 times, something that people have never seen before, or that they'll want to see.
Yeah.
So, what do you think then of movies like, what is that movie that really, like, Siberian movie? You know, I'm talking about was it called Siberian movie?
A Suburban film.
Serbian. I don't know what I'm saying.
Serbian film?
Close.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of movies like that really take you so into a really uncomfortable place?
Man.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like examples for I mean, The Human Centipede, right? Would that be an example?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where this is the weird part of me. Man, it's fucked up. Sometimes I can't even like handle it. I'm like, this is really fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
God, damn, I gotta turn my head back to the screen. No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking just. But that's how good it is, and that's, like I said, that's where part of my inspiration comes from. If I can't handle it, then shit, no one's gonna handle it. I'm gonna do something this fucking crazy. Yeah, no, it's that's like I think that's just that's kind of like where I'm trying to get my art to that level. It's like so the mayhem and the G.G. Allen of art.
Oh my God, G.G. Allen.
That's where I wanted to be.
Oh my God.
Sort of. To an extent.
Yeah. just don't use your own shit to make art, literally, like he did.
Thought about that. Oh, man.
Can't imagine that would smell nice either.
No.
There's some artists out there who use their own blood and paint portraits. I'm like, God, that's badass.
That's kind of cool, though.
That was kind of in the film, Velvet Buzzsaw. That's in the film Velvet Buzzsaw. They touch on that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then they like the paintings become like haunted. I don't know. I wish it was better, but it's such a cool premise.
Yeah, the idea was really good. They dropped the ball on that one.
They did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's just for me, anything that has to do with blood, piss, or anything that comes out of my body, I'm not gonna use that. I mean, come on, think about the next couple of years. What's gonna happen with that painting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You could always lacquer them.
Wow.
Put a coating on there, a little shiny coating.
Vacuum seal it.
It's got me thinking of that Tales from the Crypt episode where there's a Tales from the Crypt episode from back in the day where an artist, like he's a failing artist and he's trying to get his paintings into a museum. Mm-hmm. His neighbor below him is like playing guitar and he just won't shut up. So he goes out of the fire escape and says, "Hey, shut the fuck up." The guy on the guitar pulls out and says, "Hey, you shut up. I'm playing here."
Oh,
so
I remember that.
The guy upstairs goes back, gets a flower pot, and says, "Hey," and the guy downstairs looks and he drops the flower pot on the dude's head, and he falls onto the ground, and he's like, "Hey, I got an idea." So he sketches it. He sketches the dead body, and then throughout the episode, the art gets more and more graphic until at one point he smashes someone's head in, and he uses pieces of their brain to cover the canvas, and he sells it for like $1 million.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
I thought you liked that.
Are you inspired again?
Yes, I'm very inspired. I am very scared, but inspired.
That's what we're here for.
I know the limit I have. No, I'm kidding. I have my limits. I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
You're all disclaimer, yeah. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Parental advisory.
You know what his stuff also kind of reminds me of is like the Creep Show.
Oh, like the old EC comics?
Have you ever seen those?
The Creep Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've had. I think I've seen. Don't they have signs of it, like magazines and whatnot?
Yeah. So like the old EC comics.
I had one, but man, I never got into it. Honestly, as a
kid,
I was
like the artwork though, did that like influence? Did that play like an influence on your art?
Yeah.
By the look, the design. And I've seen these. The last show I was at, I've seen these guys just everywhere. When I just started getting into when I started getting more and more into like the classic horror magazines and movies and whatnot, I was like, shit tons of work, man. Shit tons of the cover work. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
With colors,
Yeah.
I can't do colors for shit. But
you like black and white.
Yeah. Stick it something simple. But for now, I just gotta challenge myself to get to that level where it's like, it's like, hey, fucking study your color schemes and you could be producing shit like this sometime ahead, So yeah. Basically, I'm trying to say is I'm just really fucking lazy.
No, you're not. Don't be too hard on yourself.
You're 22, man. So you got time, man. Like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. While I still have the time now, I gotta do it.
Like if you were 33, exactly. then that'd be a different story.
No fear. I shall not have no fear at all.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
I agree with what you said. The time is now. Don't even wait on anything. Do it now.
Right. I could be motivating for others. Just for me, it's hard.
Right?
I don't fucking know why.
I feel like that's always the case too. Like with filmmakers or musicians, like they'll tell their people like, no, you got to do it now. But then when it comes to themselves, like,
it's like, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, dude, and that's kind of what sucks about being trying for opportunities, but yet you're lazy as fuck, because then it just builds up. It's like, wow, damn, I'm like 10 commissions backed up. But hey, I promise you guys, I'll get that new logo and designs coming.
Thank you so much. Like, I'm really grateful for that. Thank you very much for that.
Oh no, thank y'all.
How can people find you again? Like if they wanted to reach out to you and get a commission or like buy a piece from you, like what would be the best place to reach you?
I'm gonna be posting stickers around as many places I could go to. So if you ever see a nun having a cobra coming out of her,
I need that sticker for my car.
Oh my God.
You'll find my Instagram.
So Instagram is the best place.
But Instagram, Instagram is the spot. So Autkast Design, AUTKAST. Just if you need something for a band, logo, commission, as long as you're motivating and you're able to spam my DM with ideas, and then hey, fuck, we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll on. But if you're just gonna, I've had, people come up to me and ask for, commissions and want to start business with me and whatnot, but they just don't want to
take that next step.
It's for the moment, and then they just stop.
That's frustrating.
Hit me up, we'll talk, get some coffee, sacrifice kids.
Right? Find some nuns that like snakes.
Yeah, Miss Moist does. If you do print out those stickers, Miss Moist does want a sticker. So if you could let us know when you print those out, we would love to get some of those from you.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, no, it'll be a pleasure. Next show I'm gonna be heading to it's a toy show at San Leandro. Damn, I forgot what it's called, but it's in San Leandro. Okay. That's for sure. Just San Jose. That's I'm coming back there. That's with more work.
Yeah, so, we might see you there again. So
yeah, I'm hoping to see you guys there. That's for sure.
I'll try to make it. I didn't get to make it last time.
Just because you're not a nerd.
I'm a geek. There's a difference.
I'm neither. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa, Miss Bull over there. Wow. Sitting there all high and mighty over there. Jesus Christ. Okay. With that being said, the show's over.
Nice. I have spoken.
Nice. I did it.
We did it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, the Boogeyman, Johnny Zuko, with my co-host
Ginger Snap.
And the voice that keeps you moist, Miss Moist.
Who's too cool for school.
Yeah.
And we want to thanks Alex Bojorge.
No, you said you went back to your old
name.
Bojorge. Alex Bojorge. For joining us today and taking time out of his schedule to chat with us. We appreciate it, and keep up the good work, man, and we'll keep in touch too, man.
We'll do. Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right. Stay scary.
Stay scary.
Bye.
Bye.